Hello guys, welcome to some more Starcraft 2 Out of the Swarm replay action. We have WF Lonel in the south playing as the Red Protoss, and his opponent today will be IconiK's ShadowWraith. GLHF to everybody there. Now IconiK and Lonel are both Silver League players. Well, they were at the time of this replay, so we should be having a bit of fun here. It'd be interesting to see how these two kind of mirror. PvP tends to mirror itself, and then one will go in one direction and one will go in another, so you'll sort of see it like one player will go air and one player will go for robo units, stalkers, immortals. It'll be really interesting to see how similar they are. So ShadowWraith has got his pylon down next to his base, and so has Lonel. So both sides there really mimicking each other. I'm going to speed this up just a little bit just to get past the initial pushing out of additional workers. Both sides just really using that chrono boost ability. It's a fantastic ability. I wish I had this as a Terran, as then I would be truly unstoppable. And a scout there for Lonel coming out there. I don't know where he's going actually. I really don't know actually why he's got such a bizarre scouting pattern. His opponent's only going to be in one place, all the way up here. And let's see, slow this back down again. Right, ShadowWraith getting his gateway out, first gateway out, and his first assimilator is down as well. Both assimilators coming down though for Lonel. His gateway is up as well, and another pylon. So that should be, both there getting the pylons up. Lonel temporarily supply block, but only for a few seconds. In the meantime, is that Lonel? Yeah, Lonel's into his opponent's base, having a good scout round. Now ShadowWraith hasn't scouted. He's going to chase his opponent off though. He hasn't sent out any scouts of his own. He doesn't feel the need to. He knows where his opponent's going to be. He's also up against the Protoss player, so he's kind of knowing what the early game is going to be. He's going to know that rush play is not going to be likely, and that he can build anything his opponent can, but he can build it faster and set up a defense inside his own base. So he doesn't really have to worry about what his opponent's up to. Gateway is down. Cybernetics core is coming up. There we go. Cybernetics core is up. First the Zealot out for ShadowWraith. And we've got Cybernetics core down for Lonel as well. Well, that's just coming up as well. Lonel just seems to be, I don't know, a second or two, about 10 to 15 seconds slower than his opponent. I don't think that would be a significant difference. Both gas up for Lonel, 3 and 3 in each, 3 and 3 in each as well there. Is that, no, that's IconiK's, sorry, that's ShadowWraith's own pylon. Another gateway coming down as well now. A Stalker on the way as well. Chrono boosting out more workers for Lonel. So both sides not really doing anything. Oh, Mothership core for Lonel. That should provide some good in-depth base defense. And ShadowWraith is actually scouting with a Zealot rather than a worker, which is an unusual idea. He sees the Mothership core and decides that he's going to leave as the repulsive beam fires away. Yes, indeed, I would be leaving as well. Mothership core being pulled completely out of position. Now a couple of Zealots back here now rushing in would be a very, very cunning plan. I don't think I could actually pull that off. It would just require too much planning and thought. A couple more gateways coming down here for Lonel. That's gateways 3 and 4. What have we got coming up here? We've got gateways 3 and 4 and a robo facility as well. So getting some immortals here from ShadowWraith, which will be interesting gameplay for him. I love Immortal. I think Immortal is possibly one of the best units. Immortals and Void Rays, probably the best two units that the Protoss have, in my opinion. The Immortals can soak up so much damage and dish out so much damage to armoured units, and the Void Rays will just mop up everything else. ShadowWraith's worker there coming back up inside his base. He's put down his necklace there, so he's going for his well, I wouldn't say fast expansion, but he's going for an expansion. His opponent hasn't. Now he does have his own Mothership core, Stalker and a Zealot that should hold pretty much anything that Lonel will throw at him. Lonel's getting down his expansion as well. As I say, Lonel just seems to be just a little bit slower than his opponent, just a little bit. What have we got coming out of the robo facility? We've got an observer coming out. That'll be good. Get some information about what your opponent's doing without having to send a worker over there. Pylon coming down for ShadowWraith as well. So ShadowWraith will get some intelligence. Depending though actually whether Lonel actually decides to build. Lonel hasn't built. Oh, he's got a robo facility coming down now. And he's going to be getting, I would imagine he'll get an observer up as well, just to counter-observe his opponent. Got Mothership core and a pair of Stalkers for defense. So defense kind of mirroring each other at the moment. Mind you, having said that, ShadowWraith's defense has actually been beefed up. He's now got 3 Stalkers, 3 Zealots, and a Mothership core. That's pretty good. He's got his warp gate technology has been researched. Warp gate tech has also been researched for for Lonel as well. So all looking pretty good. Second gas. First gas on the expansion So more Stalkers coming in as well. And 4 of 24 down here, 17 of 24. What we've got in the air, 23 of 24. Some very good saturation there for Lonel. And Stargate coming for Lonel as well. So it looks like Lonel may be going heavily into the Stargate, though. Why he built the rainbow facility? Maybe just to get the observers. That would make sense, actually. Wouldn't it make absolute sense just to get the observer? And there comes... Oh no, that's ShadowWraith's observer. Oh, ShadowWraith's already here having a good look round. Where is Lonel's observer? Lonel isn't building one. He's building himself an immortal. So ShadowWraith, for at least the time being, has got the secretive world of spying on your opponent down pat, and it's absolutely free for all for him. Excellent. So he's going to have a free hand in seeing everything that's going on. No gas coming here on expansion for ShadowWraith, which is interesting. He probably feels he's got enough gas. He's sitting on nearly 500 gas. His opponent's sitting on over 500 gas. What have we got here? Gateway, and... Gateway, and Twilight Council. No sign of a forge. So I'm guessing he's going to be going for getting double... Or sorry, he's not going to be going for getting out his double upgrades or anything like that. He's going to be getting Archons. There we go. I'm going to go with Archons. I'm going to go that he's going to build Archons, which is not a bad unit. And it's better against Zealots. It's got 350 shields. It's quite good against biological targets, i.e. the Zealots. Not so good against the Stalkers, which are armored. Are they armored biological? I'm not entirely sure if they're armored biological, but they are biological targets. ShadowWraith there still having a good look around his opponent's base. No sign of a... And then we do have an observer now coming for Lonel. So whether or not ShadowWraith will have seen that, and Lonel there taking down the rocks to the rear of his base. Makes sense. He can take down those rocks, take down these rocks, and get his third nice and safely. And Lonel also has that Zelnaga watchtower. Now, what is ShadowWraith doing inside his base? He hasn't taken down the rocks to the rear, which is interesting. He is continuing to push out Immortals, though. That's his second Immortal out. No sign of anti-air. We've got Zealot speed on the way. We do have double forge coming down, so we're going to see some upgrades from ShadowWraith quite quickly, I think. Templar Archives as well. So we've got Templars, Archons. I might just stick with Templars. Might get Psystorm and stick with Templars, but I'm going to go with... I reckon he's going to get Archons. He'll go all the way to Archons. He's going to get somebody who's going to go for double forge, and he's got weapon 1, armor 1 on the way as well. The observer there of Lonel being picked off very, very quickly. Nice move there by ShadowWraith. Doesn't want his opponent to do exactly what he's been doing, which is literally sitting there spying on his opponent. His ShadowWraith is still in his opponent's base, sitting there watching and looking at the sort of mustering area of his opponent's base, and watching what's coming in. And another Immortal coming out there for Lonel down here at the bottom. All this force here building up Mothership Core. We've got a couple more Zealots warping in. What have we got coming down here? We've got pylons, more workers being brought in. No, he hasn't taken this position down here. So what's coming at the back here? Got Twilight Council coming as well. He's also got another Void Ray on the way, but in the meantime, ShadowWraith has expanded. He's grabbed a third, which is usually the fourth, but this is his third. Normally the third will be this base here at the back, but he just hasn't gone for that, which is interesting. So ShadowWraith's force are looking pretty good. He's going to have 1-1 upgrade ready any minute now, and that would be the result of not turning my phone off before I started casting. So looks like ShadowWraith could be ready to move out. No, it's not. He's going to oh no, he had to cancel his Nexus as Lonel has moved out and just tried to destroy everything. Why? Because Lonel had a pylon at the back here the whole time, which nobody, including me, noticed. So Lonel's moving out with his force. Where is ShadowWraith? ShadowWraith, they're putting down a pylon. We do have Archons. We do have 1-1 upgrade completed. He hasn't gone straight for the 2-2 upgrade though. This is interesting. Because I think actually if he goes for the 2-2 upgrade, he will be able to take out his opponent's forces. Marching in, Zealot legs there, taking him straight into the fight. And the Zealots do much better against the Stalkers than the Stalkers will, because Stalker on Stalker is quite a devastating fight, and Immortals and Stalkers being armored attacks will take additional damage from Stalkers and Immortals, but the Zealots won't. So the Zealots just take standard damage, so the Zealots don't have a lot of health to start with. Void Rays coming in though, just mopping up ShadowWraith's force. Now will Lonel push the attack? Is that ShadowWraith? That is ShadowWraith's observer. It's been there the entire time, following his opponent. He knows exactly what his opponent's force consists of. He's built up his own force. He's building up some Zealots, which I think is a good idea. They're cheap and easy to produce. He's building in 4 more Zealots. Oh no, there's 4 more Stalkers. 4 more Stalkers coming in. Got, looks like, yep, 3 more Water Gates coming in for Lonel. Lonel really does want to get his his troops into battle as fast as possible. Got a pylon coming down here right next to his opponent's place. He's going to come in and start making the moves. Taking down the pylons is down. That's Lonel's observer. But we've got more Zealots being warped in for ShadowWraith, and ShadowWraith is trading time and pylons for an army. I don't know. He's got his 1-1 upgrades done. If he was 2-2 upgrades, he might be able to do this, but I don't think he can. Not with just 1-1 upgrades. Not with just 1-1 upgrades. He really could do with a 2-2 upgrade. And there goes an observer for ShadowWraith, exploding there. In the meantime, looks like the push is going to come in and try and hit the main base, or hit this expansion anyway. And, oh, a Slowfield. I'm not entirely sure whose Slowfield that is. Both sides have mothership cores. Zealot legs there coming in. Zealot on Zealot action there is always good for a laugh. And in we come trying to break through the Zealot lines of Lonel. Lonel's Zealots, though, actually crumbling. And the Zealots of ShadowWraith actually getting into his opponent's troops now and actually doing quite a lot of damage. Void Rays, unfortunately, are going to hold this fight off, though the Nexus actually firing off thanks to the mothership core is actually going to launch a few attacks, and ShadowWraith actually managed to see his opponent off. He's actually going to launch a counter-attack. Zealot legs should be able to catch up with that. Rear Immortal quite quickly, but more Stalkers have been warped in now. Zealot charge has been used. We need Zealot run away as ShadowWraith is pulling back. That's very nice, but that is very nice indeed. 2,300 minerals and 1,400 minerals. That's a lot of minerals sat in the bank for both sides there. More Templars being warped in. So we're going to see another Archon, I think. Oh, we've got the 2-2 upgrades coming for ShadowWraith. Now, his 2-2 upgrades, I think, will be able to allow him to, with this slightly smaller army, allow him to withstand Lonel's push. And in the meantime, he's got that Nexus coming down as well. He just hasn't taken this Nexus down in the rear, which I just don't understand why he hasn't gone for that, as that is usually the safest route. Now he's got these both got 3 Archons up. 3 Archons against this force will do quite a lot of damage. But look at this, warping in. 6 Zealots warping in there for Lonel straight away. And 3 Zealots warping in for ShadowWraith. The ShadowWraith only got... He does have 6, 7. In comes another clash here. Zealot legs charging in. These Void Rays, though, doing so much damage. The Stalkers really need to concentrate on getting those Void Rays down. Let the Zealots deal with the ground troops and take down those Void Rays. Void Rays are being hacked down. Looks like the Archons are actually going for the Void Rays and doing the most damage to them. And look at that. Lonel's force crumbles between the 1-1 upgrades here from... It is only 1-1 upgrades. The 2-2 upgrades are not finished yet, so 1-1 upgrades are still managed to make a difference. Slow they're being used there by ShadowWraith to greater effect as well. Those Immortals will take a little while to take down, but the Archons will take them down fairly quickly, but the Stalkers will take quite a while to take them down just because they're armoured targets. And there we go. So Lonel's force has been driven off, but does look like ShadowWraith had his... Lonel did warp something in, and ShadowWraith did lose a force here. Did lose this Nexus. Looks like he had to cancel it again. He's going to try and take out that pylon once and for all now. I think he's had enough of that pylon. That pylon has to die. Oh, the pylon's going down. He's getting down. Pylons, more pylons. Getting both gas down inside this main base. Inside this expansion, he does need to get these workers out and harvesting again on the new base and this Nexus. Third time of trying to get this Nexus down, and he's building himself a wall. He's building himself a defensive wall of gateways. Now, that's not as crazy as it may seem. 500 shields, 500 health with the... Oh yes, with photon cannons backing them up. This is not such a crazy idea. They will actually hold the line quite a long time. It'll be quite some time before Lonel's forces actually be able to break through. But in the meantime, Lonel is continuing to build up his force. He's got this expansion down here. He hasn't taken his 4th yet. But then, oh, it looks like ShadowWraith is going for his 3rd. There he takes down the ice block down the back. So he could quite easily go for his 3rd. We've got another pylon down here, so there could be another attack coming from Lonel. Lonel getting a pylon up here as well. Lonel is very good at putting down his pylons, sneaking down these pylons into places that his opponent doesn't want them. He can put quite a nice force behind this foliage and then just charge in. And here we go, Lonel coming in. ShadowWraith's pylon is going down, and Lonel is going to come try down and run into this wall of, well, I would say doom, but it's a wall of defence. And nice, catches a double there Slowfield is down. There, double Slowfield. That almost looked like a feedback there onto the mothership core. It was a feedback onto the mothership core, and looks like with the 2-2s done, the 2-2 upgrades are done, but I'm not entirely sure that ShadowWraith has got the troops to do it, but he's warping in more troops. He's got Zealots coming in now. Zealots going into the flank of the line, and 2-2 upgrade is going to make a huge difference. These Zealots charging in. The Immortals are making a comeback as well, and the Zealots charging down, chasing off the Stalkers, but more Stalkers coming in. Whether ShadowWraith can actually defeat this second line of Stalkers as well, he's got this force here that he could bring down and take out these other Stalkers. No, those Stalkers are going to chase off the Zealots. He's massing his force back down here. He's got more Stalkers coming in as well. He's massing his line, massing his army behind this line of warp gates. That's a lot of warp gates. That's 6 warp gates up here, and so there's 12 warp gates, 13 warp gates. That's a lot of warp gates. That's a lot of warp gates. A lot of troops coming in now. Let's see, what is Lonel doing? Lonel is building up his force next to his pylon. He's going to try and push it. He's got his 4th down. Starting to get that harvesting. That's looking pretty good there. 97 to 116 supply, not a huge difference. And more Archons on the way. It's going to be 4 Archons in this force. ShadowWraith really liking these Archons, and to be absolutely honest, I don't blame them actually. 2-2 upgrades, 3-3 upgrades just about to complete for ShadowWraith. And here it comes 3-3, any moment now, 3-3. When was the last time anybody saw a 3-3 anything? 3 weapon or 3 armor. We'll quickly go for the shields next. 1 armor being researched there by Lonel, and I think the 3-3 is going to be absolutely devastating here for ShadowWraith, as he's going to be able to obliterate his opponent really, really easily. He's going to be doing so much more damage than his opponent. ShadowWraith is doing 17 damage to these Stalkers. The Stalkers are doing 15 damage back. There is so much damage there for ShadowWraith. And he's going to be just driving his opponents before him. And his opponent's literally just melting before him. And he's going to be pushing now forwards onto this force of Stalkers down here. There are what? There are 6 Stalkers down here. Going to try and run away. Can the Stalkers run away? The Stalkers are going to run away, flank the line, and go straight into this mineral line, which is not going to be good for ShadowWraith. Does ShadowWraith realise what's happening? He does. He takes out the pylon. He realises what's happening. He immediately pulls up and warps in. These 9 Zealots are immediately warping in. And those Stalkers now going for the rear base, but another 4 Stalkers being warped in there as well, being able to catch up with the Zealots. Sorry, with the Stalkers. In fact, that's Nex is actually stopping the Zealots from getting in and doing as much damage as they could, but he's going to take out his opponent's forces very, very rapidly. Now, what has Lonel got? 81 to 144. The supply is definitely in ShadowWraith's favour at the moment. Now, what has Lonel got? He's got 6 Stalkers and a pair of Void Rays. He's going to need an awful lot more than that if he's going to stop his opponent coming. What we got coming out of the facility? He's building another Observer. I don't think an Observer is what he needs. He needs more. Immortal has got another Void Ray on the way, and that's not a bad idea. He just walked in 6 Zealots as well. But where on earth is the army, the mass army of ShadowWraith? And ShadowWraith is bringing more Archons. More Archons are coming in. This is an Archon army of doom with 3-3 Archons against a relatively smaller force, and is ever more increasing of Zealots. At this stage of the game, when your opponent's reinforcements consist of just Zealots, you know that he's having trouble, you know that he's having problems. Shield upgrade level 1 on the way now for Lonel as well. So instead of going for weapons and armor, he's gone right across the board, got 1-1-1. And more Zealots being warped in. This army is not going to be good. It's going to melt against those Archons. Those Archons are going to tear those Zealots apart. Slows are being used, time slow there being used by ShadowWraith to great effect to slow down those Zealots, and the Zealots are getting ripped to pieces by ShadowWraith Zealots. ShadowWraith Zealots is running around the rear, just mopping everything up, and there we go. And Lonel's base is now wide open, warping in, and more Zealots though. And Zealots are not going to be able to stop this force coming in. Look at those Void Rays go down. GG Croys. Lonel and ShadowWraith actually carries the game. Nice game there. Nice. This is the power of sometimes the power of upgrades. If you can get your upgrades quick enough and soon enough and do enough damage with them, you can actually keep your opponent on the back foot for almost the entire game. But that game could have gone either way, right up to the point I think where the Wall of Doom appeared, and Lonel no longer had a quick and easy route into this Nexus area. I mean, he did manage to stop that Nexus coming up twice. And it was only the 3rd attempt that actually, and then of this Wall of Doom, which actually allowed ShadowWraith to have his 3rd base. So some good harassment there for quite a long time by Lonel, but he just didn't quite keep up with the production of his opponent. So GG to ShadowWraith. Thank you very much, guys. I've been Havoc. Catch you guys on the flip side.